Peace, family. Come on in the room. We're going to be quick today. Check in. Let us know where you're hailing from. Come on in on this Thursday, March 5th, 2026. And the time is 4:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Shining wisdom's light, teaching soul tribe how to see through the night. Ancient scriptures and bloodlines she knows, spreading truth wherever she goes. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day.
All right. Hey, family, come on in. We won't be long today because we're preparing for another show around 5:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come on in the room. I just want to encourage you. Hey, welcome, family, before we go on to our evening show in just a few minutes. And my encouragement to the Soul Tribe is stay encouraged. Okay, beware of all the distractions. A lot is going on, family. A lot of good things are actually happening for our benefit. So stay with me. I just wanted to do a brief podcast today before we go on to our show around between 5:10 and 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that we're going to do with Sheikh Jacob Bey. He's going to talk about how some very interesting things are going on. Let's just put it this way. Hallelujah! He has risen. And I'm not even talking about the king, the Christ. I'm talking about a whole nother king. Allegedly, they've risen or awakened King Tut. You don't want to miss this because y'all know Sheikh Jacob Bey breaks down all the codes, numerologies, the entertainment, the things happening in the political arena to let us know what's really going on behind the scenes. So we're going to come on about 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I wanted to come on to encourage you before we have that show because a lot of people are calling me and worried about the Iran war. Listen, family, all the world's a stage, right? Didn't they tell us this? All the world's a stage, and they even let us know about the Truman Show. Remember that movie came out? So why am I coming on today? Because before that show that we're going to do, talk about how King Tut has risen, because I'm probably only going to stream on YouTube because sometimes I have issues with my other platforms. So you want to make that show today with Sheikh Bey, and I put the link in the chat for you to go over to my YouTube channel. But first, stay encouraged, family. Now, let me just remind you of how the people in power have a grip or had a grip over the financial system, economics, education, health, sex, religion, what else? Politics, research, every activity that involves humans, all areas of human activity, human life, they had a grip. But as I showed you all my podcast yesterday with Chief Mac, your name, your last name, your surname, your name is attached to your bloodline. So your bloodline has been accumulating growth, they have been accumulating karma, they have been accumulating values, and they have been accumulating wealth for millennia. But a lot of us didn't remember who we were. But I'm here to encourage you and let you know that you stood up when it came time, when you were on the other side before the council and you said, I'll go. When they said, who's going to go to help liberate humanity? You waved your hand. You said, send me, I'll go to liberate humanity. And I'll go to recoup and recover everything that they stole from my bloodline and family. Here we are. So the deep state, Illuminati, reptilians, draconians, whatever you want to call them, Dracula, draconians, the powers that be, they are now being dealt with. So I want to encourage you because they will be locked down for 1,000 years. Now, when the Bible was written, yes, it was foreknowledge. Yes, it was revelations, like the book of Revelation, but they were actually telling you ahead of time what they did, what they're going to do, and what they might be doing later on. Let's see what they're doing, what they did, what they're doing, what they're going to do. Okay. So, yes, it was revelation, but we have come into that time. Congratulations, you made it. Welcome to the golden reality. You made it. Keep your eyes on the prize. Your prize is recovering your bloodline's wealth. Your prize is the legacy that they left behind. You've come to reclaim it. Everything else, I want you to put blinders on your eyes. When they put a blinder on a mule, on horses, they can't see to the left nor to the right. They can't see the left nor to the right. Their eyes are focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. Okay? Otherwise, you got blinders on. You don't see what's in mainstream news unless it's positive. Okay? You don't hear it, and you be careful what you speak. Okay? Because you want to only speak positivity into the multiverse. Because everything that we're thinking, seeing, and allowing into our portals, hearing, speaking, goes out into the ethers. We're 9 ether beings. It goes out to the ethers and it magnifies, especially during this time, because we are in a high vibrational manifestation time. Thank you for over 200 people being in the chat. So what am I here to tell you? Stay encouraged. Keep your eyes on the prize. Sheikh Jacob Bey let us know the other day on his last podcast that it's all over. He said it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, because now the deep state had the gun. They had the power, but all that's collapsing. That aligns with economist, historian Dex Lattimore telling us that the whole system is collapsing because the Epstein files was Pandora's box. They opened Pandora's box. Now everybody knows what's going on. That's why Pam Bondi said, if we arrest and prosecute everybody that's been involved in Epstein files and harming our children, the whole system will collapse. In Senegal, one of my son's colleagues said, he's a professor, they're saying on the African continent, if we let the people know how many African leaders, politicians, bankers, professionals were involved in the Epstein files, the countries, the whole continent will explode. More than 100 countries were indicted or allegedly involved in messing with our children. So keep your eyes on the prize. Sheikh Jacob Blake said, now the Grand Army of the Republic is in control. It ain't no fun when the rabbits got the gun. Chief Mack let us know as well that it's over. And he and I came on the other day and said, your bloodline is speaking to you right now to say, recover, recoup, and reclaim everything that belongs to you. I don't care what part of the earth you come from. I don't care which country. You've been accumulating wealth. Just think about it. Even if they hadn't been, think about the birth certificates, the death certificates, the driver's license, the marriage license, the all type of licenses that have been securitized, trading on stock exchanges, accruing interest, and growing. Those are put into your trust. You will have access to the trust. So stay encouraged. Meanwhile, while they got us focused on United States and Israel allegedly going to war with Iran, I say allegedly because we sometimes don't know what's real, what's not. When you look at the numerology and you look at the codes that Sheikh Jacob Bey broke down, it's letting us know that it's over and everything is being returned and restored back to we the people. Stay encouraged. Your bloodline is speaking to you, telling you, stay positive. Keep your eyes on the prize. You are wealthy. You are gods. You are kings. You are queens. Why do you think these protests are called no kings protests? Because you learn in English that when you put no in front of a word or but, it negates what comes behind the no. So if you say no kings, your brain, your subconscious hears no. And it's almost like kings doesn't even vibrate. So they're saying no kings. Trump is not a king. Really, it's the king I want you to focus on. That's why Sheikh Jacob Bey is going to come on the Dr. Kia Pruitt show at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 5:15, to let us know why they resurrected King Tut. Who is King Tut? What does he represent? I heard somebody say they resurrected King Tut in Kentucky, and I said, oh my God, Kentucky, King Tut. They were trying to tell us something about this bloodline. Listen, some of you are connected to some pharaohs, some emperors and empresses, and bloodline families that are beyond the ice walls on other planes or planets. You see, Earth is covered with a dome, according to some scientists. Read the book Terra Infinita. And there are planes outside of the ice walls. Ice walls, Antarctica, all these walls surrounding the Earth plane is to prevent you from navigating behind the ice walls to see the other planes, like the ancestral realm, which were humans that were caught up in other resets. We've had about 7 resets when the Anunnaki and other beings have come on this planet and unalived as many human beings as they could, and left the remaining ones as slaves, but some escaped. Remember the Nephilim, when the sons of God made it with the daughters of men, when the other beings came on earth and they made it with humans and created the giants? Well, all giants aren't bad. Some of them actually helped humans escape, and they went to the ancestral realm, which is beyond the ice walls. They're living there. Some of them have lived thousands. They have longer lives, thousands of years. Some of them eat. They have good eating, but they're still fighting wars there too. But they have a beautiful, amazing library full of all the ancestral memories and stories. And some of them have returned to help liberate the planet. So it's over for the deep state. The energies are changing. Why they have you fixated on the Iraqi issues going over there in the Middle East and the war between U.S. and Israel, which are allegedly working together to unalive Iran. It's interesting that the Iranian leader is gone. Some people say Netanyahu is gone. Some people say he fled. We don't know. But what I want you to pay your attention to is that Iraq was just in the dark. And they're still recovering. They still might be in the dark. If you know, you know. Iraq's in the dark. This is March and this is Ramadan. When else have you seen that happen? And I'm going to be quiet. If you know, you know. History repeats itself. Iraq was just in the dark. Meanwhile, Iraq has built up their infrastructure. Iraq has called all their businessmen home. Iraq has said they're investing in their country. They said they're open for business. Iraq has a transportation hub that connected to over 66 countries in the world. What else has happened? Trump just made a huge move and a huge deal with Venezuela. While people are saying, oh my God, he yanked up Maduro and the wife and he's trying to steal the oil. He's trying to steal the... Listen, behind the scenes, he's making some huge moves. If you know, you know. Okay, research it. And it's going to benefit both countries. And Venezuela just made some deals with African nations. What does that mean, Pruitt? That means African nations are now sovereign. African nations have kicked out the colonists because during the Berlin Conference, the European powers came together and said, we're going to divide the continent of Africa to 54 nations. We're going to steal the resources for ourselves. The African nations have kicked them out and said, now we're going to have one Africa, one passport, one payment system called PAPS. The African nations are sovereign. Trump brokered deals last year with the Middle East, trillions of dollars. He brokered deals with China, the largest economy in the world. He brokered deals with Venezuela recently. African nations are becoming sovereign. Factories are returning back to America. This is good news. Gold is being sent back to our refineries. Our refineries were closed. Now they're open. Trump removed us from 66 international organizations because he said, now I'm reclaiming our sovereignty. They weren't working for us or the American people or our republic. He's restoring our sovereignty. They like that number 6 and 66. He removed us from 66 international organizations and said, I'm returning the people to their sovereignty. He also created the Board of Peace. And I've heard people say, oh, you can't trust it. Whenever they say war, war, peace, peace, there'll be sudden destruction. I know that was in the Bible, but it's a new day. And as long as you tell yourself it's a new day, and as long as you vibrate on that frequency that we are free and we are sovereign and we are wealthy, that is what will manifest. because words cast spells. That's why they call it spelling. You have the power to create the reality that you desire and deserve. This is what your ancestors are speaking through you right now. He created the Board of Peace, President Trump, to replace the United Nations. And Trump just signed 18 executive orders already in 2026. You need to read those executive orders, because a lot of people don't trust it. But I'm telling you, when you read them, and you read them with a discerning eye, you can see that a lot of things are happening. Keep your eyes on the prize. Look at the Federal Register. President Trump's executive orders, 66 of them. Look at the Federal Register. Look at the 444 organizations that are a part of the government. Those are being dismantled. That's why the Supreme Court of the United States overturned the Chevron doctrine, which gave the government unlimited powers. They said the government is unlawful, unconstitutional, and treasonous in 2024. Therefore, 444 government agencies have to be dismantled. The Supreme Court of the United States went further and said, not only are those agencies treasonous and they got to be dismantled. That's why the Department of Government Efficiency was created. That's why we're in the middle of a government shutdown, a partial shutdown, and we had a full-blown shutdown. But the judges that were involved are nefarious. They committed treason. And any judge that knew of a judge that allowed these shenanigans to go on, they committed misprision of treason. That's why judges are being arrested. Furthermore, they've been involved in raping children. Some of them, not all of them, of course. And they were the head of many cartel members. In the meantime, while good is happening on this end, sleeper cells are being activated. Mass shootings are occurring. That's why Chief Rod Hayes told us many times on my platform and others, get your children out of the schools. I'm not telling you what to do, but he said before it even happened, they're going to activate sleeper cells. So family, everything is working for our good. I'm about to get off of here. I just want to encourage you. I hope you continue to encourage each other in the comment section. So here in 2 minutes, Sheikh Jacob Bey is coming on. I'm going to put the link in that. And he's going to talk about how he is risen. And who is he? How is the he that is risen connected to King Tut? Why would they raise up King Tut? Thank you for the Cash Out Blessings, family. Why would they raise up King Tut? Okay, join me in 1 minute. Yes, some of those sleeper cells are homegrown. Here it is, because I'm only streaming on YouTube. Sheikh Jacob Bey, our resident sheikh, our decoder, is coming to tell us what's going on in the world. I see you later, family. I love you so very much. He's waiting in the background. Peace, family. I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. I trust I said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve.
Raising vibrations.
Go on over to the YouTube channel. Watch our show at 5:15.
Dr. Kia Show.